everyone, and welcome back to the XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm joining you live from New York, the Big Apple. I hope you're having a wonderful morning or day. Let's see where you're joining us from. I'm looking at the Behance chat. Let me know where you're joining. Hi, Anne, Chris, Joy, Raphael, Vikram. Nice to see some familiar avatars. Nice to see you. Okay, so today is day number 7 in the XD Daily Creative Challenge. But as always, before we get into day number 7, I want to go over what the XD Daily Creative Challenge is all about, the different ways you can participate, just in case this is your first time tuning in. So I'm just going to quickly show you how you can participate. Just setting up. One moment. So where is everyone joining? Okay, there we go. So nice to see you guys joining today. So really quickly, this is the official landing page for the XD Daily Creative Challenge. And essentially, it's just a really great way for you to learn the basics of UX UI design with Adobe XD in 9 challenges. And right below, we have this nice bold blue button where you can join our community Slack channel. And this is the official Slack channel for the XD Daily Creative Challenge. And I'm gonna quickly give you a tour of that. But just before I do that, I'm gonna scroll down. So again, be sure to download Adobe XD if you haven't already. It's what we're using for this challenge. So it's free, be sure to download that. And if you scroll down just a little more, we have a section on the landing page where all the challenges, past and present, will be. So again, this is day number 7, so we have a bunch of videos that you can easily rewatch and catch up if you'd like. And you can also download or get a template that comes with each challenge, and it's just a great way for you to jump right in designing with me live on the show if you're tuning in. Okay, so I'm just gonna head on over to the Slack channel. And the first thing you're gonna wanna do when you join our Slack channel is introduce yourself. Tell us your first name, where you're joining us from. We have people from all around the world. We have over 5,000 people in our Slack channel, which is pretty amazing and surreal. So definitely introduce yourself. In the announcements channel, this is where the Daily Creative Challenge is posted, and also additionally the downloadable XD template, so you can also get it there in addition to the official landing page. In the design feedback channel, this is where you can post your designs for each challenge, and you'll get some very valuable feedback. We have mentors and professionals who are giving high-level feedback, so be sure to take advantage of that. And finally, in the Help General channel, this is where if you have maybe a more technical question, you're gonna want to post it in the Help General channel. So that's just an overview of our Slack channel. I'm gonna jump over to Behance really quickly. Oops. So for this challenge, we are using the keyword XD Daily Challenge. And just before you publish your Behance project, if you hit the Discoverability tab, you can use the keyword XD Daily Challenge. That way, everyone who's participating in the challenge, we can see your work. And I also like to feature your work live on the show. So be sure to use the keyword XD Daily Challenge. And at the end of this show, I will show you more in detail how you can do that. But really briefly, we're using the keyword XD Daily Challenge. So in speaking of that, I just want to quickly feature some really great designs based on yesterday's challenge, which was day number 6. And for day number 6, we designed a time tracker UI. So this is by Samuel. And as you can see, really nice take on the yesterday's challenge. Love the colors you used. I like how you also labeled, I guess, each project that you were working on with colors. Really great job. And let me appreciate your project. So this is by Adam, and this is really good. I love the way you prototyped this. Yesterday we was mostly just focusing on the design aspect, but you definitely went above and beyond and created this really nice like transition, very unique. I don't think I've seen this often, so really cool, Adam. This is awesome. My face. Okay, and finally, I just want to also feature an additional take on yesterday's challenge by So Young. And this is again just a really nice take on yesterday's challenge. Love the dark UI that you chose and the color palette. This looks really great. Okay, so now that I've featured some of your amazing work, let's get started on day number 7. So I'm just gonna head on over, oh, sorry, one more thing. So be sure to go to this URL floating above me to sign up for the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge Slack channel. So this is where you're gonna go if you want to join our Slack channel here. Okay, so I'm just gonna head on over to my XD file. Okay. And as you can see, this is the template that is a part of today's challenge. So hopefully you're seeing this. And today we're going to design and prototype a team page for an agency website. And as always, we have the suggested color schemes and also some additional resources. So for this challenge, we will be using profile photos. So you could definitely check out Diverse UI for some really great diverse UI profile photos. So just really quickly, I'm going to give you a tour of this template. So in this top, I guess, menu section or header area, you can add your logo and menu items here. And since this is a team page, of course, we have some profile photos, like a section where you could put different profile photos for each, team member. And we also have some social media icons. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and maybe if each team member has their own personal website, we have the icons here. And right below this area, we have, I guess, a section where you can put maybe a call to action or a quote, something that represents the company. You could be really creative. And of course, as with most websites, there's a footer area. So a contact us section, customer service, information, even a newsletter that visitors can subscribe to. But you can, of course, modify it as you'd like. And we also have a user screen. So let's say you want to, prototype what it would look like if a visitor clicks on a team member's, I guess, profile photo. It can pop up and show more details of that user. So I'm just gonna go to my version of this challenge. So I have all my content. I have the names. I have a nice little our team blurb. I also wrote some menu items like home, about us, our work, blog, contact. And I also have a logo for this, I guess, fictitious design agency. And in this area, I chose to add, I guess, just a nice quote that represents the company or the design agency, and of course, the footer area. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add some colors. So I decided to add or use black as the primary color for this website. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna select the header area here, and I'm just gonna, in my assets panel, I'm going to select black, like so. And for this background area, just behind the team members' photos, I'm going to apply this light gray There we go. And as you can see, since the background for each team member's, I guess, profile, it's white, so it's kind of blending into this area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna double click, and as you can see, this is a repeat grid. So it will populate more if I extend it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna double click an object in the repeat grid. And in the property inspector, I'm going to select shadow. And as you can see, Y is 3 and the blur is 6. So let me just increase that to 10. Just so it stands out a little more. So now in this, I guess, quote section or just something that really represents the company, I'm going to color it yellow. So this is going to be my accent color. And finally, I want the footer area to be black. Okay, so now that I've added all the color I want for this, this agency team landing page, I'm going to now add some profile photos. So as I mentioned earlier, I got my photos from Diverse UI, so I encourage you to do the same. And I'm just gonna go to my folder, and it has all 8 photos that I'm gonna just drag and drop, and that's the neat thing of the repeat grid. If you have an object and you place an image onto it, it automatically populates all the images when you select multiple images. So I'm just gonna demo that for you right now. So here are all my photos. I'm just gonna select them all. Gonna drag and drop it into this circle here, and it automatically populates. So super cool feature. Okay. So now that I've, I guess, completed my team landing page, I also want to add some content to the individual user screen here. So what I'm gonna do, again, I'm just gonna go to the folder with the different photos. And I'm actually going to select just one photo. And I'm gonna drag and drop it into this object here. There we go. And let me update this email. So just gonna double click on the text object, and her email is samcook@mail.com. Okay. So really great. So what I'm gonna do now is I just wanna quickly see if I can use the new feature in XD, which is responsive resize. This is a really great time-saving feature in XD. And if you're not familiar with web development or coding, and you've never dabbled maybe with simple HTML and CSS, this is a great way for you to get an idea of how you can modify your website or use responsive resize to modify it in a similar way you need to modify your code if you want to make a responsive website. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the artboard, and I'm going to press Command D just to duplicate the artboard. And now I'm just going to enable responsive resize. And with that enabled, you'll notice that the text, it's condensing quite nicely, but some other elements in our design are not. So this menu area, it's not looking so good. So a quick thing you can do if you want to use responsive resize, you can actually group those text objects. So I'm just gonna select them all and press Command G. And now if I resize it, it doesn't shrink down so much, and it looks really good now that we've grouped the text objects. So again, with the repeat grid, it also is, it's also responding to us shrinking the artboard. So it is being responsive, but ideally I'd like to have all the team members, I would like to position them more vertically. So again, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to extend the artboard. And when you're using responsive resize, you will need to, you know, move around some elements, which is totally normal, that's fine. So let me just move this down. And now I'm just going to condense it into two. Let's move this to the center more. Just gonna move this up a little. Okay, so let me just move this up. And I'm going to shrink this down. And again, we're just modifying our different objects when we're using responsive resize, so it looks good. Okay, so this is starting to look more and more like how I'd like it to look as, you know, maybe I'm moving from desktop to tablet and also a mobile device. So as you can see, this subscribe to our newsletter, it's kind of interfering with the other items or objects in our menu. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna remove that. And now I'm going to move some of the footer items towards the center. So I'm just gonna move this over. And again, when you're using responsive resize, this is a really great way, again, if you're not familiar with code and you know, you maybe hear about responsive resize, this is just a really great way for you to get an idea of how that would look when you're actually working with code. Okay. So let's see how this works as we shrink it down. There we go. So now we have a desktop version of our team agency landing page, and we also have a more mobile-friendly version of our team landing page. So I encourage you to, you know, use responsive resize and play around with it. Can't wait to see what you come up with. And I'm just going to quickly prototype how this individual user profile will look like on our agency page. So I'm just going to switch over to prototype mode. And it looks like we're going to click on Sam Cook's profile. So I'm just going to wire that to this user artboard. And I want the action to be an overlay. So I'm going to set animation to dissolve. I just want it to nicely, you know, dissolve when we click it and appear. And I want the duration to be 0.2 seconds. I want it to be quite fast. So what I'm gonna do now, let me make sure this is set to white. There we go. So let's demo that. I'm just gonna press Command Enter on my keyboard. And when we select her profile, it appears really cool. And again, as you can see, the white area kind of blends in, so you can always just maybe draw a rectangle and add a shadow. Let me just move this behind and add a bit of a shadow. Let me set that to 10. Remove the border. And now when we preview it, let's see. Let me quickly switch to prototype mode. Let me set this to home. Okay. So let me just shrink this artboard down because now that I've added a white rectangle as the background, we don't need the artboard to show. Let me just shrink that. Okay, so let's see how this works. Let me press Command Enter to preview. There we go. So there's a subtle shadow, but again, definitely, you know, tweak it some more to make sure it looks good. But for time's sake, I'm just gonna show you how you can export this design and add it as an interactive prototype to your Behance project. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to make sure that I have this selected. I'm going to click the sharing icon, gonna publish it as a prototype, and I'm gonna click create public link. Gonna wait for it to load. And I'm just going to select this icon to copy and embed code. So now I'm just going to head on over to my Behance project, and it's day number 7. And I'm going to select this embed media icon. Just going to paste that code, click embed. And there is day number 7's prototype. Looks really great. Awesome. Okay, so I mentioned earlier we're using the Keyword XD Daily Challenge. So if it's your first time creating your Behance project, just before you hit publish, make sure you hit the discoverability tab, or if you already have your project set up, you can select settings here. And here's the tab, the discoverability tab. And then where it says keyword, make sure you have XD Daily Challenge inputted there. Click save, and then everyone who's participating in the challenge, we can find your work, and I also can find your work to feature it. So again, thanks so much for tuning in for day number 7 in the XD Daily Creative Challenge. I can't wait to see your work on Behance and in the Slack channel. Really quickly, gonna show you some other shows that you should definitely tune into today. Yeah, so this week we have at 11:30, if that was me, if you're tuning in now. And at 12, be sure to tune in to Kevin Lee, super talented designer. At 2, we have Megan. And at 4, we have Amelia Wong. So much UI UX design coming up. Stay tuned for that. So again, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for day number 8. Time is flying. Bye.